As we dedicate our miracle baby, Gideon David, today, we wanted to take a little time to share our testimony. God blessed us with this miracle baby after about 2 years of praying for a child. We announced this pregnancy in about March of 2020, and everything was going great. We were blessed with a healthy pregnancy until around week 30. During a normal ultrasound, they found a spot on the back of Gideon's neck. We went to a specialist on August 20th, where the doctor confirmed the spot and referred us to Cincinnati Children's Hospital. At that moment, we came to you all with our prayer requests, and you all joined us in prayer. We actually all met at the church right before our Wednesday night service as we were getting ready to leave for Cincinnati. It was August 26th, and we had a powerful prayer meeting. And the next day, we went to get our test done at Cincinnati. We had an MRI to look at Gideon's neck, and the following day, a team of doctors delivered some pretty scary news to us. They said Gideon had a large vascular malformation on his neck and back, and that this could cause him to go into heart failure. We would need to go to Cincinnati twice a week after that until he was delivered, until around week 38 there at Cincinnati. They also said that Gideon would need to be evaluated immediately after birth to determine what level of treatment he would need. The options included an injection, medication to the site on his neck, or surgery may be required. So at that point, we left Cincinnati Friday, got home late Friday night, and then Saturday morning, we ended up actually heading to our local hospital because I ended up going into labor.
They determined that she needed to be flown to Cincinnati to give birth to Gideon due to the circumstances. So during that time, once we found out, they told me they would give me a heads up once the helicopter was en route, so that way I would be able to maybe get a head start and hopefully be there for the birth of Gideon. Myself and Jesse's mom, Margie, we took off from the hospital and we left for Cincinnati. I was really nervous, everything going on. I remember Pastor calling me and telling me everything was going to be okay. Once they sent me to the floor where she was in the room, I actually walked in, and the doctors had just walked in, and they were actually going to do their exam and all that. And he said, "Oh, you just made it in time." I'll never forget it. After they did everything they needed to do, they told us that we were having a baby, and that they were going to move her in for a emergency C-section. And I'll never forget it. Heard him start crying. Gideon, nurses and doctors looking at him, examining him, with everything that we were told. And I seen them kind of looking confused, moving his head back and forth, being real gentle with it, the back of his neck, looking down his back area and stuff. I didn't see anything, and I'll go ahead and say it. When they told us it was a vascular malformation, I Googled it. So when I walked over there, it wasn't nothing that I was planning to see. I didn't see anything. And I could tell they were confused themselves. I walked back over, told Jess that everything looked good. He's doing fine. I don't see what they're talking about, but they're still looking around. They put him in like a special neck brace. They were, doing all these things just to be, sure, because of what they were informed. So he was born weighing 5 pounds 7 ounces, which was a pretty big dude for to be 33 weeks old. He was breathing pretty well. They didn't see anything wrong. Everything was working really well. Just normal preemie issues, they were informing me. They, after doing everything they needed to do, they informed us that they would be transporting Gideon to the Cincinnati Hospital, Children's Hospital there, to their NICU. During that time, it was still stressful because there's a bunch of unknowns. They said they were still, running exams. The specialist would be in the following day to check on him, to do an exam on him, just to see if they could see, because they were having trouble finding the spot that they seen before. Then finally, the specialist was able to come down to us and speak to us about his issues. And I'll never forget it. She said that I believe you have a perfectly healthy preemie. There's nothing wrong with this baby. We don't see anything. She didn't really have an explanation at all to what they seen before to now, because within the time span, how could it, resolve itself? And she said, I remember saying, I'll never forget it, because sometimes doctors believe more in science than what God can do. And she looked at us and said that y'all had some strong prayers going up. We need to pray for more stuff, as in world peace and other issues, because obviously our prayers got answered. And all I can say is I know throughout our journey, God has been there for our family, and He has always been faithful to us, even with my issues. But with Gideon, this being a complete miracle and being no explanations to it all, but there is an explanation. God stepped in and God corrected the issue. He is the Almighty, He is the Alpha, He is the Omega, and He is the #1 physician. All it takes is a touch for Him. All He has to do is say it, and it happens. And we just want to give God the glory, honor, and praise, and dedicate Gideon to the Lord today, because He is the Lord's child.